What is up, you guys? So, this is not the first Yu-Gi-Oh video I've done, but this is the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video I've done. Now, Duel Links is a game I've played on and off for like 4 years now, but recently I'm just getting off I think I'm on the tail end of this latest wave of playing Duel Links, and it's been a good run. I took a ritual deck. I took Vindred and got the King of Games with it. Had fun. Went about even. In the KC Cup, I started slipping up at the end, so not quite true. But I mean, to make it to the second stage of the KC Cup and to see exactly what the best of the best were playing, that was pretty cool. So I might make this a separate video, just reminiscing on Duel Links. But today's video is specifically about tickets. If you've played in recent days, or recent years, I guess, I never really paid attention to tickets before this attempt. But if you look at the screen, it appears that I have 60 tickets I need to burn, 67 to be precise. And I was like, oh wow, this is a whole lot. And I've seen some guides on tickets, but it seems like each separate wave of tickets has its own distinct cards that you'll want to use. So I'm gonna give basically 2 sets of advice. I'm gonna go through each set of tickets and maybe segment them as their own part. I'll put like the timestamps in the descriptions below. And we will go from least useful to most useful. The least useful ones are probably going to be the easiest as well. So, we're going to start off with the ranked duel normal tickets. You just get these from playing ranked duels, and these are the lowest form of tickets you could possibly imagine. Now, if we're going to pretend that, you haven't turned any of these cards from dueling already, there's a few that stick out. If you're looking, well, first off, for general advice, for the general, if you're super new to Duel Links, there's actually one thing I think I have that other channels haven't touched on yet. You can sort by attack value, which can pull up the strongest, like, 4 stars and such. This Ghoul with an Appetite, 4-star zombie, 1600 attack, not gonna win you any ranked games, but like, let's say you're trying to unlock bones or something, or like, if you're in like your first 2 hours of gameplay, like, let's say you played five ranked duels for like some mission unlock, and you didn't have a competitive deck yet, this might be a reasonable choice. One card that objectively isn't good, but that I personally really like, this Commander of Swords. It's more or less like a really, really bad debunk, which is a counter trap just when your opponent draws a card. Nope, they didn't draw that. That goes away. This is pretty much the same thing, except it's locked to their draw phase, and it only works if it's a spell or trap. But, I mean, I think I've only ever pulled this off once in, like, my years of playing this game, at least against another player. But if they draw a spell or trap and they have something annoying on the field, you're worried about a wall of D or something, you can pop something they control. My Vindred deck. It's one area of weakness is spell and trap control. Am I gonna play this in ranked duels? Oh no. Oh, that's cute. So, Five Brothers Explosion, I just noticed, is like a really jank Solemn Wishes. that can also burn a little bit. Hey, if you're trying to get some quests out of the way. If you're playing Neos, I noticed this Contact Out card. It's basically a defusion for the Neos archetype, which, if like you're really new, defusion, it's just another quick play spell you can use after you attack, and then you are able to attack with the monsters that you made the fusion monster with. With something like, say, Metal Dragon, that's going to be crap because its monsters are crap. But any Neos fusion monster has Elemental Hero Neos in it. So, if you're special summoning Elemental Hero Neos plus something else during the battle phase, that's 2,500 damage guaranteed on board. So, this isn't the most consistent card in the Neos archetype, but it's a legitimate card if you're looking for, if you're a Neos player, or looking at being a Neos player. If you are playing, like, Arrow Mages, like a life gain deck, Ancient Leaf could be pretty good. But you'd need to look at this as a one of, like, extender card. Kind of like Contact Out, actually. Like, both can be very sacky cards, but you need to have the perfect setup. But then again, you're working in normal tickets, so you aren't trying to get the perfect setup. So I am no Madolche player, but I noticed there's a real card from a real archetype on here. Madolche in real world Yu-Gi-Oh! And by that I mean the TCG, the physical card game. It recently saw this at their Pro Play Tour tournament in the top 16. I don't know if it was playing Croissant though. I don't think the deck profile is out yet, but yeah, hey, you can play a TCG legal archetype right out of your normal tickets. So yeah, that's pretty much the most I think anyone has ever said on these normal tickets. Oh, real quick, this isn't gonna help you win any of your ranked games, but if you can pull out a Swordsman, a Landstar, and flex on them, I don't know how, but like if you're playing a deck that doesn't need your normal summon, just bring this out against them. Your opponent will wet themselves, piss their pants, and they will surrender about 10% of the time. Mystical Sheep number 2. When you're looking at the minions, like Eidos the Shadow Vassal, Garum the Wind Vassal, that kind of thing, they're all revolving around, like, bringing each other out, and the way they do that is with their attack and defense value. Mystical Sheep number 2 is technically Monarch support. Technically. That's why you see me with 3 of them. Long term, I'm hoping to build a Monarch deck one day. But hopefully I won't be running this, but if you're looking for a placeholder, not the worst thing. And that's all anyone has ever been able to say on normal tickets.